Hello, fellow human. Hope you guys have a great day, and let's read some r/I don't work your lady stories. To the first one, Karen at Walmart. This happened in October when I worked at a Halloween store, so it was a while ago. I just got off work and I'm waiting to get picked up by my grandparents since I'm saving up to get a car. As my grandma arrives, I get in and start to unwind from a busy day. On the way home, I ask if we could stop by at Walmart so I could go buy a snack. When I'm on my way to the checkout from the snacks, I'm stopped by a woman that asked if I worked there. I said, no, sorry, and I tried to keep walking away. Lady: excuse me? I know you work here because you're wearing an apron. Me: yeah, but mines are purple, not blue. Lady: poor customer service could get you in big trouble, young man. Me: I finally turned to face her. My apron doesn't say Walmart, it says Spirit Halloween. Spirit Halloween. She looked at me with a surprised face and just walked away. Well, that was stupid. I think Walmart workers wear vests with logo like 90% of the time. On to the second story. Lady snapped at me to get off my phone while I was picking up decorations in a different store while on the phone to my boss. Okay, so this happened a few years ago at my first job. I worked at a game arcade in a large shopping center and I loved it. Started there when I was 15 and worked there till I was 19. I ended up getting all my school friends a job there and I was very close with the boss. It was like a little family. Now, we had these black and gray polo staff shirts, and we all wore lanyards with the keys on it for convenience. Keep this in mind. Anyway, I think it was like one of the last years I worked there, and it was getting around mid-October. So, my boss gave me some money and asked me to go buy some decorations from the dollar shop down a few levels and spook the store up a little bit. As someone who loves Halloween and decorating and spooky crap, I was thrilled to do this. Unfortunately, when it comes to spending someone else's money, I'm super paranoid about getting the right thing. So I get down to the store and spend like 10 minutes umming and eyeing about what to get, haha. So I decide to call my boss and just run him through what I was thinking of getting for the store. And as I'm explaining to him, this middle-aged lady comes up to me, clearly not very impressed. Excuse me, I need some help here. Surely staff shouldn't be on their phone out on the store floor in front of the customers. I turned around, took the phone down from my ear and said, oh, sorry, but I don't work here. And holy smokes, it was the funniest thing ever. I reckon she crapped her pants right there and then after using that tone and crap to me and then realizing I didn't work there. It was ducking brilliant. She apologized and then walked off afterwards, and my boss heard the whole thing, and I got back to the store and we had a good cackle about it. To be fair though, I was in a work uniform and had a lanyard, so I can understand her confusion, and I would have felt bad for her if she hadn't been such a C-word about it. Well, at least this Karen is better than the other Karens. You know, she apologized and didn't double down on her mistake. The third story. I don't know where your rental is, I'm just enjoying my coffee. Well, my husband collects I don't work your lady incidents like a politician's collecting bribe. I only have 3 on my own. This is one of them. This happened in the spring of 2018. My mother had traveled abroad to visit one of her relatives, so when she was flying back, I went to get her. We live about 3 hours away from the airport. Because our oldest was recovering from a stomach bug, hubby decided to stay at home with the kids and I would get my mother and bring her home. My mother's flight was scheduled to arrive at around 1 p.m., but when I got there, I found out they had 2-hour delay and I had to wait. I thought, alright, I'll enjoy a coffee while I wait, and notified my husband. The weather was good, low 20s Celsius, with no clouds, and decided to have my coffee on the outside patio of the coffee shop. I grabbed my tablet because the airport is a bit windy, a yellow windbreaker, and apparently that was the problem. I was reading my book on my tablet, enjoying my coffee, wearing my yellow windbreaker, when I heard a "Hey you!" I didn't think it was directed at me and continued reading. Then I feel someone looming above me and a "I'm talking to you!" I looked up to see a man looking down at me. The following exchange happened. Cast. Me. Well, duh. Chad equals to entitled butthole. Karen equals to entitled butthole's wife. PO1 and PO2 equals to police officers. Me. Well, yes. Chad. Where is my rental? Thinking that he was asking where the rental companies had desks, I replied that they were on the other side of arrivals area. Chad. Okay, be a good employee and bring it here. Me. I will certainly not do that. I don't work for the rentals. Chad. Oh yes you are. Now go and get it. Me. No. The thing goes back and forth like we were 4 years old when Karen inserts herself in the conversation. Karen. Honey, what takes so long? Chad to Karen. Oh, this employee here doesn't want to bring our rental? Karen comes and grabs my windbreaker's lapel and put her face uncomfortably close to mine. Karen. Listen here, you little tramp. Me and my husband are very good clients. I don't care if you're on your break, but if you don't bring the car in like 3 minutes, we'll get you fired. Me, extremely pissed at that point. Listen, tramp. Take your pawns off me or we'll have trouble. Karen. Ow, you threatened me. Ow, you're so getting fired. At that point, she swings her arm, hitting the coffee, spilling it on the table, missing the tablet and on me. Me, standing up. Oh, screw off, tramp. Go find your own ducking rental. Karen, at that point, slapped me, while her husband was screaming obscenities. I flipped and slapped her back, which initiated a fight. When the initial argument began, a couple of bystanders had taken notice. The shouting had attracted a crowd, and when the fight started, somebody called the cops. 2 officers came and separated us. PO1. What happened? Chad. The employee refused to help us and then attacked my wife. Me. I don't even work here, you crap face, and your wife attacked me. PO2. Madam, language please. Karen. I want to press charges. PO1. Okay, all of you are coming with us. We ended up on the airport police station. One officer went to get the manager of the rental company and the other reviewed the tapes with his boss. The rental company manager verified I wasn't an employee. They wear white shirts and black ties and a lanyard with their access ID. I was wearing a Cthulhu t-shirt and jeans. The cameras verified the attack. I pressed charges and left to get my mother. Holy, I don't even know what to call that. That is insane. The 4th story. She doesn't work there anymore, lady. Me. HR, my wife's replacement. My wife used to be a corporate travel agent. She handled large companies like Microsoft, the software company, and Boeing, their airline company. She had done this for over a decade and was really good at this. One day, out of the blue, she is let go. Apparently, she was talking to someone on the phone and let out a sign. The bigwig on the other end took this as a slight and asked that she be fired. My wife was the only person who handled these accounts for years, so there were no notes or guides on how to handle these clients. I noticed that day after day she would get a call and be instructing the person on the other end of the call on how to do her job. I asked her what was up and she said they keep asking her for help because they don't know what to do. At the end of the week, I guess, she put in at least 20 hours talking to her replacement, trying to help them out. Following week, Monday rolls around and she gets another call. My wife was away from the phone and I pick up. As I suspected, it was her old employer. I can be a nice guy, but this had been pissing me off. When they asked for my wife and I confirmed that it was her old employer, the conversation pretty much went like this. Me, she doesn't work there anymore? HR, I just need to ask her a few questions. Me, your company fired her for sign. HR, I'm sorry about that, but we have a few questions. Me, she spent over half of her week last week talking to you. She doesn't work there anymore. If you want her to train your staff, you'll need to bring her in as a consultant. HR, silence. Me, the hourly fee for her consulting with you will be $45 an hour. I'll be sending your company an invoice for the 20 hours she has already spent with you. After receipt of the $900 from your company, we can talk about further training. Any further communication will also build at $45 an hour. HR, okay, thank you. Hangs up. I could have been nicer, but having worked many contract jobs in my past, I found out that if you keep helping them after you're let go, out of a sense of loyalty, they'll keep using you at no cost. The best thing is that my wife wound up getting a job at that software company testing a travel agency app they were designing. She got a substantial raise as well. For people who ask whether I sent the invoice, I didn't. Just having them not call gave us a sense of freedom and peace way worth than the $900. Well, you didn't curse or refuse any help, only ask for proper compensation. I don't see any need to be nicer. On to the fifth story. My sister doesn't work here, you psycho! I have a perfect story to share here, with justice at the end and everything, which happened about 2 years ago. So, a little bit of a backstory. My younger sister, by 10 plus years, used to have a bad social anxiety when she was little, but my parents got her into therapy and she got significantly better throughout the years. Now, she's 100% functioning, she's very talkative and funny when dealing with family and friends, and just a bit shy when dealing with strangers. Basically, the only occasions when her old anxiety kicks in is when she's supposed to speak in public or when stranger gets confrontational with her, which is, as you probably understand, what's important to this story. Anyway, enough about my sister. So about 2 years ago, she was 18 at the time, I got back home after being out of the country for several months and decided to take my sister for shopping. Because she had birthday just a few weeks earlier. She's a very talented artist, and back then, she was at a stage when she was convinced that artists are supposed to dress classy, which meant that when I picked her up, she was dressed in gray trousers, white shirt, and a vest. My point is that she looked very official. Anyway, we went shopping, and she wanted mainly some painting supplies, and on our way home, I decided to stop in a big hardware store because I needed some stuff for a hiking trip with my friends. She went inside with me and wandered off to look at some other stuff while I did my shopping. I was done maybe in 10 minutes, and as I was pushing my cart towards registers, looking around whether I will see my sister, I heard some guy screaming at someone, presumably an employee, about how incompetent they were and that he's getting them fired, etc. Just some general stuff you see here mentioned all the time. I don't exactly remember it to the last word. The guy sounded very angry and used a lot of profanities. I didn't pay much attention. Normally, I'm the kind of person who would probably stand up for that poor employee. But then, I was really tired and didn't feel like dealing with it. However, as I was crossing the aisle where this incident was taking place, I realized to my horror that it's not an employee getting screamed at, it was my sister. This guy, who looked like someone dressed an extra for Mad Max into a business suit, he looked really comical, was holding her by her hand, shouting profanities right in her face. She looked absolutely terrified and on the verge of tears. I immediately went into a protective brother mode, sprinted across those 10-something meters and shoved the guy away from my sister while screaming at him to leave her the duck alone. He let go of her and looked dumbfounded at first, then he got aggressive, started going off about who the hell I think I am and other BS. Then he started shoving me back, but I was much heavier and taller, so I just wrestled him to the ground where he just kept screaming incomprehensible incomprehensibly. By this point, the commotion had already attracted attention of an employee who promptly called the manager and a security guard. I told him what happened. Guy was calmed down a bit, so I let him go, and he started ranting how he's gonna sue all of us, but didn't try to get physical again. Manager called the police, who took statements from all of us, even my sister, who was finally be able to speak normally, and reviewed footage from the cameras. Apparently, what happened before I got involved was this. My sister was checking out some electronics and noticed some headphones or something has fallen out of the shelf. She starts putting it back, Guy sees her, and since she's dressed in official looking clothes, he thinks she's an employee or manager and stands beside her, waiting until he gets her attention. My sister blocks him out at first because she doesn't realize he wants something from her. After a while, Guy gets visibly annoyed, grabs her by her shoulder, and flips her out about how unprofessional she is, etc. My sister, being as shy as she is shocked and stutters over herself, unable to explain that she doesn't work there. Apparently, this just makes him more mad. He gets progressively more aggressive and actually ducking slaps her. Luckily not too hard, it was more like kind of a slap you give someone when you want them to wake up. A few seconds later, I appear and you know the rest. So, what happened next? Cops cuffed the psycho. Much to his surprise, I remember he actually said, "What the duck are you doing? Why aren't you arresting him? He attacked me!" He just wasn't able to comprehend that grabbing my sister's arm and slapping her wasn't okay. He was later charged with assault and I believe he got a probation, couple hundred hours of public service, and had to attend anger management therapy. We didn't really care. The store manager apologized even though we didn't blame the store in any way and gave us some vouchers. My sister was a bit shaken, but she was physically okay aside from a small bruise from how he held her hand. The end. Well, this is probably one of the most satisfying stories I've seen. Guy gets physical, guy get his butt kicked, and guy faced charges. Absolutely beautiful. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.